Hello guys, I am Arjunranavath. My channel Army Motivation. To watch now and subscribe. आज मैं बात करूँगा इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशंस एंड अप्रोच लॉ लैंड्स लॉ इन हिस्ट्रिकल पर्सपेक्टिव. The history and the mechanism suggest that is the set and fundamental aspect of life that determines the fact of the historicals and nation and the relationships between man and the land. One of the saints, the first Manu, that is the first Indians labor who lived the sometimes in 500 BC. The rot suggests the pronounces the collective land, the property of him who cut away is the food of the cleared and title it. Whose rest and new legends caption Sam is the applied by the Hindu scripture. According to Manu, if the land of the injured by the fault of the former himself doth, or is the faller so due to time, he was the finished the time to the kinds of serve of cough, but only 5 times if it is the fault and the servant without his knowledge. Bias also says that if man after taking field fails and collective if they are himself, or the agencies of other the should be made we pay is the owner the property needs the share of corn which the field could have yielded without his the collective and addition a fine of the king. Those the old Indian scriptural organization social possibility in social and legal approach in Indian and Uttar Pradesh land reform of India. As constitution, a background of land reforms. The constitution of a country is organic compound which is the present this action, the aspirational and vibration of its the people. A constitution creates the highest organ of state, namely the seal lectures, the judiciary and the executive, and its defines and democratizes the power of these ultimate organs. The developmentally all 3 organs have to operate within the framework of the constitution and of any law according to Radbruch and definition. The justice is the ideal relations among the man is the hand of some economics. The release of the marches and expressions, the proprietary law is the public law is the attractive sound. The suggesting that the law is the first which was the private the person of the individual is the being the superseded by a public law which is the belong to all. However, was your system of Roman law according to modern Roman law, private law has to do this the justice, the relation and securing the interested individual and determines the control voices between head and whilst the public law has to do with the frame governments the function of public official and adjustment the relation between the individual and the state. The constitution of India was stood the test of time. Thus, agrarian law was the developed thoughts, the auspices of the greater the dynamic documents. The agrarians, the law, ultimately related to rights, the property of the major property of the property is a landed forest. The private property has been the center of the controversy from time to immemorial in the world in the societies. According to Locke, the private ownership was a law nature handy the point out the moment of the progressive the scientist has been the moment from status to contracts. It was also is the main point of the controversy during debates on rights to the property in the Constituent Assembly of India. The Constituent Assembly took guidance for the Constitution of the USA and other constitution in the Constitution of the United States of America. The property rights the interchanged the Fifth Amendment say not sell any portion the derivative of property without due the process of law. The Japanese constitutions and CISS constitution as the Jaji Kolokia. The constitution also give guidance to constitution the maker. The members of Constitution Assembly thought that discussed and provisional indifferent to the Constitution and prospected finally the outcome which was the best suited to the Indian Constitution. The quoting Mahatma Gandhi member the exporting they should achieve the Swaraj of Gandhiji is the dream which was follows. My idea of the Blaze Swaraj is that is the complete republic independence of the neighbors of it's the beautiful point to interdependent for many of the people in which independence of in essentiality. Even member the wanted to keep is the Pachiyati Raj and the fundamental rights. The Gokul was the best here tried the provisional Panchayati Raj. It can never be the Constitution of India. Raj Bahadur created the after article and 30 articles are added as follows. The state shall not recognize the fundamental rights and safe form of and portion shall in interior within in the interior of India to any special rights or interested on the basis of property feeling in the category of the Jagir of Muflis. The original articles is the 31 draft of follow. There shall be no private in mono splice and any from the production of material wealth and means of the production to common determinate. The talking for the debate as Jawaharlal Nehru made is the designation between PTM, the actualization, the public proposal, and the large system of social reform and social engineering. Here is the pieces of the legislations, and that is the community respected why it's the chosen the prospective and considerations are quite the instantial for the progress and the safety of the state and the pieces of the legislation which is the affects million people. The obviously we cannot leave the pieces the legislations too long between the spread and constitutional legalizations in the courts of law. Banning the constitutional equality we have to all remember that is the quality does not apply and is the individual what is the community and an individual can override ultimately the rights of the community and large. There was much is the controversy about the placing directory principle of that state policy in the separate chapters that they consider to big wise that is the chairman of the defecting committee instant on clouding them separately as follows. This narration by have the instabilized in constitution are politicals in democracy is because we do not to instill by and means whatsoever the property of the district lordship for of any particular body of people, while we have stabilize the political democracy. It is also desired that is the should be laid down as the your ideal economic democracy. We do not want to merely to down the machinism to enable people to come and capture power. The constitution allows us to lay down as the ideal before those who would be forgive this government that ideal of economic democracy has so far for as I have to concept understand tend to mind one man one voter. That question is how we got and fix the idea as to how we should we bring about economic democracy. Can we write about there are these who believe in individualize and that was economic democracy and their economic democracy they who believe the communistic ideas the most perfect form economic democracy. Thank you very much. And I speeches and Uttar Pradesh as a land reform, the approach and the constitution and the legal approach land reforms. To thank you very much and my channel subscribe hashtag Arjunranavath ke saath and my YouTube channel Army Motivation to subscribe now in join me. Thank you very much all of you watching now. Watch.